joined, I say, Magic of TV by Ollie Pope. Congratulations. That was a hard-fought victory.
Yeah, a very, very pleasing one. Obviously, the way we've gone about taking those 10 wickets, Harry Brook and Joe Root putting us in a position where we can obviously have a chance of winning a game from conceding 550 in the first innings is massive credit to them.
Well, you got it wrong at the toss, so it meant you were in the field. What sort of a challenge was it for you as captain in those conditions?
Yeah, I think having played out here a few years ago, well, as soon as the batter's in, I think probably the easiest thing or the nicest thing to have is balls at the top of the stumps the whole time. So I think we're almost trying to find ways of getting them out of their bubble, whether that be with a wide strategy where they've got to go reach for the ball or the bumpers, and then just trying to change things up as much as you can, trying to make each batter hit in their least favoured area. So I think that was probably what I found was the biggest challenge, and trying to take 10 wickets in as little possible as we could. So no, it was good to finally get them.
We just had Bryden on with us, who said that Brendan said 550 under par. I don't know, did he say that kind of in a quip and slightly jokingly, or was it genuinely? Listen, we can bat past them here.
I think whenever you get 550, whatever pitch it is, it's always a good score. But we also knew that if we bat anything like we know we can, other than myself, then we know that we could go really big. And obviously we got two greedy Yorkshiremen, and they did exactly that. And credit to them. Obviously the skills they showed, but also the fitness they showed as well. And I think the fact that we knew that we needed a massive score really kept them driving towards those massive numbers. Yeah, massive credit to them for putting us in a position to win that game.
You mentioned yourself there. We've all been there when you've not got them, everybody else gets them. In fact, it's quite an important thing because you've got to enjoy your mate's success, because there'll be one day when you're getting 250 and they're getting naught, and you want them to enjoy your success as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I think when I was a bit younger, early on in my professional career, that would have been a situation that I would have not hated because we're in a great position, but in my mind I would have just been like, oh, why can't that be me? But I was fortunate enough to make some runs in the last game, and I'll look at the next two games as an opportunity to make some match-winning performances then. But I loved every bit of watching the two Yorkshiremen bat, and what they did was seriously special. So it was a joy to watch, and very pleased for them.
And how does this victory compare? Because you were here 2 years ago when you won 3 amazing victories then, but with a slightly more experienced bowling attack as well.
Yeah, I think. I mean, it's going to be one of those wins you look back on sort of after the series and think, wow, that was awesome. I mean, yeah, there's been a few of them. Obviously, that one in Islamabad a few years ago is in a slightly different way. Obviously, batted first, made a big score. They got pretty much level, so slightly different, but probably just as special.
And even more so because you're captain as well.
Yeah, absolutely. You always feel like you've got a big job on your hands, especially in the field. I mean, in England, it's not always the case because you kind of go, right, 3 slips gully and try to swing them away, nick them off. So I think for me, it was important to try and sort of stay quick on my feet and try and find ways of taking the wickets.
That remarkable partnership between the two Yorkies, as you mentioned, not only the numbers are staggering, but the pace of which they scored at was staggering. How important was that in terms of not only driving you guys forward and way past Pakistan, but mentally putting Pakistan under enormous pressure in that third innings?
Yeah, absolutely. I think obviously giving us the time to, I know we got the game done by lunch on day 5, but firstly giving us the time to be able to take those 10 wickets, and if they did get ahead of us, having the time to chase those scores. I think the pace that they batted is crucial for that, and you kind of need that on these flat pitches, as we saw last time round in Pakistan. And yeah, I mean, they play such different games, but they both score at a pretty good rate. Obviously, the way Brookie kind of used his power, and then Ruti's kind of got a cushion on his bat, so he just hits his twos. But no, I think going in last night, they would have just been knackered from chasing that ball around, and I think that was really important in getting those 6 wickets last night. And yeah, I think the way they played was just phenomenal.
Do you think you could have come out with that intensity last night had the bowlers not had a longer time off their feet? Because that is quite a consideration in these conditions.
Yeah, I mean, it was very handy. I think, having the best part of 2 days off your feet was crucial. I think the bowlers walked off the pitch pretty knackered at the end of day 2. and all they needed was a couple of days off their feet in this heat as well. But credit to them. I mean, the way they've charged in and kept their paces up throughout and kept looking to take wickets is. And I would have liked to thought even if they had 50 less overs on their feet, they would have came out with the same intensity as well. But no, I thought they were awesome this week.
Leach did you proud today?
Yeah, he's fits in like a glove. He's been great to have back around. Obviously, he's toured here before, toured India before, knows how to bowl in these conditions, and it's great having those two options. Obviously, the off spin and the left arm spin as well. And we know out here you don't necessarily get that bounce that you do in England and some of the other countries. So it's a great way of kind of using their two skill sets together and challenging them in the opposition in different ways.
How are you deciding who to go with what? Which spinner to bowl first? I mean, Bash is obviously England's number one, but Jack is obviously Somerset's number one. Is that coming into your thinking in the slightest, that you got to sort of show it because he's been in the side for a bit longer of late?
Oh, look, I think there's a little bit of both. Like we said, I think early on in the innings you might get that extra bit of bounce, and that's where Bash really comes in. And then I think if there's two right-handers batting and we're trying to shut that scoreboard down a little bit, then when the ball's spinning away, naturally the option is to go with left arm spin. But I think they just complement each other in this part of the world really nicely. So I think credit to the way they both bowled. Obviously Bash didn't get the poles he would have liked this week, but it's his first time in Pakistan. He's going to be learning quickly on the job, and he's learned a lot this summer, learned a lot in India, and he's going to keep going in the right direction as well. So I mean, credit to them both the way they bowl.
Can we throw it forward, because Ollie Stone's obviously gone home to get married and we wish him well, but he's not going to be available for Multan in 3 days' time. Is there, do you think, a need to bring in a spare seamer? Because in Pakistan, for a variety of different reasons, people can get sick or they can get injured, and the bowlers have just put in an enormously hard shift.
Yeah, look, I mean, we've got a few days off our feet now. We'll keep it as relaxed as possible. I know that there's always that way of looking at things, but at the same time, we've obviously got Matt Potts on the sideline, who's been bowling lovely, and he's just waiting for his go. Ben Stokes looking to come back and play as well.
What, in the next one?
Don't know. No,
what's your best guess?
No, I'm not 100% now. I know he's been training really well this week, and he's as keen as ever to get playing again. So fingers crossed for everyone. He's all good.
Do you expect a fresh pitch in 3 days' time? You've got a terrible poker face. Do you expect a fresh pitch, or maybe a second
Standing
go on
a
that
length,
one?
kind of doing this for the last 20 minutes.
Oh, honestly, I have no idea. I'm not sure what they'll do. They wanted to have a little bit of pace in this wicket, which I thought they might have, and then they actually shaved a bit off about 45 minutes out, which kind of surprised me a little bit, because playing with a kookaburra ball out here, we play with that in New Zealand. They kind of feel like they have to leave a fair bit of grass on to get that pace into it. So yeah, it'll be interesting what they do. That pitch wasn't really spinning from the straight, but it was just the cracks were just gradually getting bigger and bigger. So it'll be interesting what they do, but we feel like we've got the resources to cope with whatever they throw at us.
Congratulations. See you in a couple of days.
Cheers. Thanks, guys.
Well done.
Cheers.